family tradition did you discover was hiding something darker? When I turned 16, my grandmother sat me down and explained the Chen family tradition. Every teenage girl had to spend one night alone in our family's old restaurant kitchen after it closed. No lights except one candle, no phone, no nothing. Just you and the darkness. It's how you honor the women who came before us, she said with a serious look. Been happening for generations. Your mother did it. I did it. Your cousins all made it through just fine. My older sister Lisa had done it 2 years earlier. When I asked her about it, she just shrugged and said it was boring. You sit there for like 4 hours, candle burns down, you come upstairs to the apartment, big deal. So when my birthday came around, I wasn't scared at all. The restaurant kitchen was just a normal commercial kitchen. Stainless steel counters, walk-in freezer, industrial stove that looked ancient. My family went upstairs to our apartment while I headed into the kitchen with my single red candle. I lit it and sat cross-legged on the cold tile floor. The flame cast weird shadows on the metal surfaces, but I figured that was normal. Then the temperature dropped dramatically, like someone had opened all the freezers at once. I could see my breath even though it was August. That's when I started hearing the sobbing. At first, I thought it was just the building settling or maybe sounds from outside, but this crying was right next to me. Soft, heartbroken weeping that made my chest ache. I tried to stay calm. Maybe this was part of the tradition. Maybe everyone heard weird stuff. Then came the banging from inside the walk-in freezer. Heavy, desperate pounding like someone was trapped inside trying to get out. I stared at that freezer door watching the handle rattle. The banging got more frantic, more urgent. "Help us!" came a voice clear as day. I nearly jumped out of my skin. This wasn't my imagination anymore. Someone was talking to me. A woman's voice, maybe in her 20s. "They lied to you," the voice continued. "It's not about honoring ancestors. Get out before you become one of us." My hands were shaking so bad I almost dropped the candle. The flame was flickering now, getting smaller. Part of me wanted to blow it out and run upstairs, but I'd been told never to extinguish it myself. Had to wait for it to die naturally. "Look in the freezer," another voice whispered. This one sounded different, younger. "Look what they did to us." The candle finally went out. I bolted through that kitchen and up those stairs faster than I'd ever moved in my life. My family was in the living room watching TV, all smiles and congratulations. Mom hugged me and said I was officially a woman now. Dad patted my shoulder and asked if I'd learned anything down there. I wanted to tell them about the voices, but something in their eyes stopped me. They seemed too eager to know what happened, too interested in my reaction. That night, I couldn't sleep. Those voices kept replaying in my head. Look in the freezer. The next morning, while everyone was at work and school, I snuck back down to the restaurant with a flashlight. I pulled open the walk-in freezer door with trembling hands. Behind the hanging meat and vegetable crates, I found something that made my blood freeze. A loose panel in the back wall. When I pried it open, there was a hidden space behind it. Inside were personal belongings. Jewelry, purses, shoes, all belonging to young women. At the bottom was a stack of old photographs. Girls I didn't recognize, all around 16 years old. They looked like family members, but I'd never seen them before. Under the photos were newspaper clippings dating back to the 1960s. The headlines made me sick. Local teen disappears after family celebration. Police investigate missing girl from Chinatown restaurant family. Each article mentioned the same thing. Girls going into the kitchen for their 16th birthday and never being seen again. The most recent one was from 2019, a girl named Amy Chen. The photo showed someone who looked exactly like my cousin Jennifer, but Jennifer was alive and 22 now. I confronted my parents that evening with shaking hands. At first, they laughed it off, said I had an overactive imagination, but when I showed them the newspaper clippings and photographs, their faces went white. Mom started crying. Dad just stared at the evidence. "How many?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. 11, Dad finally admitted. "Over the years, they just never came back up. Where did they go? We don't know." Mom was sobbing now. The tradition was supposed to be harmless, just sitting in the dark for a few hours. But sometimes girls would go down and we'd never see them again. "And you kept doing it?" Dad looked up at me with tears in his eyes. "We convinced ourselves it was just bad luck, that maybe they ran away from home. We couldn't accept that the tradition itself was."